So yeah, we're on our journey, guys. Um, that's what I'm attempting to do here. It feels like a journey to me still. Um, the editing process doesn't quite sometimes, but because I already wrote a lot of scripts and stuff, and well, it's coming to realize that maybe those scripts are not the right ones. And I just need to document this experience, allow that to be what it is. So we got that. Now we can come over here and go to Mandarin. So we got our cat, right? Yeah. So then now we're gonna run up and get to Karamja, did we say? Go to Karamja, get some fish, and then we also want to buy our Chronicle. So we're gonna stop and get our Chronicle first. So let's go ahead and get to Drainer Village. We're going to get some wine probably. Chronicles again. I can't believe I lost mine. You would think that you'd be able to get them back. I don't even know if I should really get one, but I feel like I should just push to 25 magic and just be done with it. But we'll get a chronicle and whatever. A few more pages on it. It's gonna be, 1k down, but pretty soon that 1k is gonna be meaningless to us. I can't believe they disappear when you die. If the chronicle is lost or destroyed, it retains its charges if bought back. Okay, that's good. Very nice. We'll buy one of these. Just got 10 charges left. That's all I need until I can teleport to Farak without. We just need to get our way down to Karamja now. And we should probably start saving up our run energy. Marked our spot where we're trying to get to. I think there's a shop in here that sells anti-poison, but maybe that would be wise to look into, but I guess we might lose another cat. Okay, let's save our run energy like we said. I think the game turns it back on when you get to 15. Let's see. Okay, I didn't do it. Let's see what happens when we get to 20. It knows I'm watching. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Okay, I know there's some spiders around here. Because snakes. Maybe the spiders by the a different herb patch. But we're gonna keep. Oh, there's some spiders. I guess we're gonna go more in this mode so we can see what's kind of ahead of us. Try to dodge anything that looks a little snakes. Snakes always looking suspicious, huh? Can't be trusted those snakes. What am I getting hit by? Okay, he didn't. Whatever hit me didn't poison me. That's good. Looks like something's up over here. I gotta pay attention to the map for yellow. So there's a jungle spider. I don't know if they poison or not. Yeah, it looks like I'm running closer to them. Okay, looks like I'm safe. And here's the other patch I was talking about. I feel like there's something that poisons over here, maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? Maybe there's nothing that poisons. It's just my imagination. Kind of like saying, I'm in the jungle. Something's got to poison you. Pretty sure when you do this mini game right here, where you're repairing this, there's some things that poison you, but I wonder if I should do jungle potion while I'm here. What do we need? 3, anti-poison, teleport to Karamja, food. Well, in due time we'll come back and do that. Didn't take that long to get out here. Why do we have to stress about it? Alright, let's settle on in for a minute. I think we'll extend our stream today a little bit. Seemed to be the normal occurrence with me, huh? Settle on in. I have this light. I don't know if I need to turn it on or up or anything. That helps or not. Does that make me look more professional? That is too bright for my eyeballs. It goes brighter than that, but that's like blinding. That's maybe my tolerance. That's like I'm a little sensitive to stimuli, especially like light, noise, and just discomfort. It makes me tired more than anything. I think this is actually going to tire me out, so let's turn it down to this. I don't know if it does anything, so I don't really see a difference. On, off, on, off. Okay, let's turn it up 1, and that's where you see a difference, but there's also a difference now in it drawing me attention this way, and then it also, the effect that it has on stimulating my eyes. But maybe that's good. Maybe it causes a little bit more focus. It might not be a bad thing. Looks like we're getting on pretty well here. Got 120 of these. So I remember on my last account I had like probably over 10,000 death runes before I was like, I probably don't need to keep growing cats. 10,000 divided by 100, 100, and then divided by 2 for 200. 50 cats. So I think if I get about 300 Karam Wanjis, I think that should suffice. And I can always just come back and get more of that. I'm pretty sure I still have like 10,000 Karam Wanjis on my other account. No, I guess I got them for Karam Wans themselves. And I might have to go back and get Karam Wans. But with some changes to the game, I think there's a better Karam Wan coming out with sailing. So who knows how many Karam Wans I actually need now. If I actually have to get more or not. But there's not going to be an easy way to get a chick-eating food out there. So I think we just go to 200, not 300. So we're going to be heading back to Lumbridge to then go to Alcarid, do the course up till level 30, and then go to Varrock. So I think we've accomplished what we set out to do. I wonder if the Chronicle's closer, but probably not. So yeah, we're probably going to, I think what we're going to do is, well, try to end my stream on time and maybe get our way to Varrock, hopefully, before the stream ends. We still have about 40 minutes, I think. I don't know where this thing starts, but it's probably at the bank, I think. No. So let's go ahead and put this all away, this all away, this away. Keep this. Get our mine runes. Do we like our wizard hat? Are we a wizard, Harry? Let's see, are we a wizard or not? I feel like that gives me a little bit more of a mysterious look, which I think that's what a wizard is someone who's kind of mysterious, I think. Wizards and witches are not supposed to be, I think, normal people. It's supposed to be like Merlin and Gandalf, Odin, Wotan. That's the Germanic Odin pronunciation, while I think Odin is the like Scandinavian Germanic pronunciation. Can't catch that? Yeah. Let's stop stalling. We have our cat, and let's look at where this starts. See a shortcut thing. I see a roof. I see a little agility guy right here. So going off memory, this course is kind of rough because it forces you to walk at times. So let's see if updates to the game have made this more bearable. If you recover enough in between, I think it's probably this way. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I recall having to walk a lot on this course. So yeah, we want to get our full graceful. 27, very cool. 27, 28, 29, so about 3,000, let's say 4,000 more XP. This place is probably 15k an hour at least, right? Maybe 10k. So this is less than a half hour is what I'm trying to compute. So we'll have time to get to Varrock and new collection slot. Very cool. Mark of Grace, alrighty. So what I'm trying to say is we're gonna end our stream in about 40 minutes, and I think we'll already be in Varrock at that point, which I then am going to communicate that we might do agility off stream to get to level 40, and then we'll pick up tomorrow on the next course. And that next course is going to be in Canifis, which means we're going to stop off and do Priest in Peril. And so that's our current plan, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to get from 40 to 50. It's probably a long time, huh? Maybe I should look into getting a quicker way to getting over to Mauritania, but, you know, if I pull up this map, I think we'll see that from here to here, there's not much difference from here to here. And stopping off to do a whole quest is maybe not going to be the quickest way to get over here. It's not going to, you know, the 2 or 3 cats. Yeah, I think that's Ghost Ahoy. It's the quest, right? Could be wrong on that. So reward is the Ectophile and prayer XP. Very cool. You need dyes, you need all this stuff. Oak longbow, which we're going to be able to get pretty soon. Priest in Peril, 20 cooking. Beat a giant lobster that's safeable. I kind of remember this quest being a pain for some reason. All these little things you gotta get. Yeah, I'm not gonna... I don't want it. That's all I gotta do. I don't want to do it. Yeah, we just want to do Priest in Peril to unlock the quest, and we gotta keep progressing our account, because, you know, while we're on a journey, we want to walk and crawl before we run and all that kind of stuff we've talked about previously. We also have to keep a decent pace. You know, as Tolkien had said, and I think other people maybe have said it too, but not all who wander are lost. So maybe a little wandering is good, but you know, I have other feelings within me that say that distractions and diversions are not always the best either. We kind of know where we want to get to, and we want to take the journey as we go, but we want to do it not to get lost, not to just be on a journey to be on a journey, but for the experience and what we're going to learn along the way and things that we can try out. And so I don't need to force the journey to be more of a journey than it is going to be on its own. That's how I see it. Like it's a new fakeness, it's a new pretense that would come in of, that's why I didn't want to stick to a plan right away. Like I have all these plans and I just wanted to kind of go off and do it, and then I kind of realized that, well, I'm doing it, I'm not planning so I can appear a certain way. So that's just my perfectionist, coming out in a different way of, okay, this is the image of someone that is adventurous, so let me try to show to people that that's what I am. And I noticed that pretty quick and decided that that's not the journey I wish to go on, and I can still be someone that can plan and discern, and while I go on a journey, that not to I don't want to abandon fear. So I think abandoning fear is not the answer. I think fear is in us for a reason. We should slow down and think of why you have a fear and examine it. Yeah, examine the fear for what it is and recognize that it has its place, but it's not the master, it's not the controller. It's just a reaction to a stimuli of, a social pressure or wanting to keep a reputation or whatever it is, right? I think it's good to try to keep your reputation. That's something to fear of not honoring your word. That should give you fear, or at least some type of emotion. You'd kind of be a psychopath without that negative emotion, right? So I want to be seen as someone who wanders a little bit, but I'd like to also be seen as someone that stays on course a little bit. So of course that's going to come out as a struggle as I'm doing this live. Wandering, but not being lost. So that's what Tolkien said, and that's kind of what reminded me to say, not all who wander are lost. I hope that made more sense, because to me it somehow stitched back together at the end, I'll be honest. That I kind of wandered, I didn't know where I was, felt somewhat lost, but I went through the journey and I came out of that little ramble with a coherent thought. And that's, sometimes our intuition is good. Not all who wander are lost. Like I was completely spontaneous. I didn't have that planned or anything like that. And what I had said after that was also not planned. But my intuition said that was the feeling I was going for, even if I couldn't verbalize it right away. Yeah, I want to wander but not be lost. So that's what Courageous Comfort is. If I was just courageous, I feel like it would be more about just wandering. And if I wanted to be comfortable, then it would be more about sticking to the plans. So I want to wander but not be lost. I think that's the way to live life. Yeah. That's what I think is, if you just speak what's on your mind and examine it properly, you find that it leads you to the right path. Sometimes it feels like it leads you to hell. Sometimes that hell kind of opens your eyes up to something. And, so this is going to be an exaggerated, this is not like I'm just trying to be authentic and try to explain a micro moment of this, not like say that what I went through was a hell or something, but I got one or two shot by an Anku or whatever that I didn't think it could hit an 8, and it hit an 8, and 8 was its max hit. That is what opened me up to say, maybe some more planning's fine. And just kind of, I laid down some tracking, right? But I didn't prep before I streamed. I just kind of said, okay, I know what I'm doing. I wrote down a couple notes. I have an idea of the numbers and whatever else that I might have, but I want to be more courageous, and doing that led to a little micro hell, and I came back with a better headspace. You know, we don't want to be reckless, we want to be discerning. We want, you know, not that it's like, it's just everything's so dramatic, but it's whenever you're speaking, it's hard to get your thoughts out. It is what it is. And so yeah, I ended up in wandering and being a little lost and having to find a new path back in. And you know, it's because I make these rigid demands of like, I think that was kind of the issue of, I thought of looking up what the max hit was, and I specifically didn't. Like, I'll just eat through whatever they can do. It'll be fine. I was like, his max hit's probably like a 5 or a 6, so it's gonna take at least 2 hits. And the max hit seemed to be an 8. I had 8 health. I didn't eat. And on the first chance, the Yankee hit an 8. And so I forget what I said versus what I write sometimes. And so I had wrote that I was going to explain what, I know at least I wrote this, I don't know if I said it on stream or not, but I was going to go over why I like agility. And it's a good time for story time and introspection. You're always doing, there's no time to fall into your routines and to introspect a little bit. So to me, what agility is like an extended shower thought. And so if you're not comfortable with your mind, then doing agility without another distraction will kind of not feel right. You'll want something more, some more stimuli. And so I'm one who enjoys solitude. So, you know, I was going to say that, you know, maybe this is an echo of Courageous Comfort, but, you know, maybe solitude is a form of Courageous Comfort. I don't know. Just solitude in itself. I don't think it is. It might be, who knows. Depends on how you want to define things and your interpretation of it. But I think getting to the point of having solitude and enjoying it is Courageous Comfort, though. So going into solitude is not Courageous Comfort, but having the ability to go into solitude is, and to do that with Courageous Comfort. So the ability to get into solitude whenever you want to or like to, and to do it comfortably. So it's like a comfortability in being by yourself, without distraction, or with limited distraction or whatever, being completely comfortable with it. So I think last episode I talked about Comfortably Numb, that Pink Floyd song, and how it kind of gives me tingles. And right now I'm kind of in that. And I'm going to call that the inner sanctuary, at peace within yourself. That's what Comfortably Numb is. And so Courageous Comfort is a little different than Comfortably Numb. It's more about the courage to be comfortable and the comfort to be courage. So I think it does require a certain level of courage to be comfortable sometimes, that you're not caught up on this and that, you're not wearing the newest fashion, you don't know the newest information, this is what she thinks of him and he thinks of her, and all these external things that demand your attention. If you can be comfortable not knowing that, having the ability to journey out into the world and seeing what you're not caught up on, and, you know, gathering the information when it comes in instead of worrying about it before it comes to you, I think is a way to be Courageous Comfort, I guess. And I think it's wise to not take that on as the full identity. I think it's good to return from solitude and get caught up and ask good questions and care about what's going on. But it's to care when it's time to care, and relax when it's time to relax. That's basically what Courageous Comfort is in a very simplified way. And to have full mastery of that is what I'm hoping for. That I can be comfortable bringing myself out into the world, and I can be courageous on going to my inner sanctuary. You know, you would think it would go the other way around, but not always. So it's just to handle my world appropriately, to just be at ease with certain things and worry about certain things. And, you know, as Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon Jinn, I forget who it is, or maybe it's all of them, all the Jedi, they always say, you know, search your feelings. And I think that's what I'm attempting to do here, is to be a Jedi. If I could point to, well, maybe like a knight, right? A Jedi is just a knight. But if I can think of the closest image to what current culture maps Courageous Comfort to, it would be Qui-Gon Jinn and Jedis in general. And, that's a combination of the West and the East into that thought. There's a lot of Eastern thoughts into Star Wars, and there's also a lot of Western. Because, you could say he's a samurai. They're samurais, maybe. But, George Lucas was inspired by a lot of samurai tales. I think there's, they're called Jedi Knights for a reason. They're not exactly Japanese, the characters. They have more of, I think, the Western stoicism in them than just Eastern discipline. Who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is more just Eastern. But I think it is a good bridge of a grander understanding of the universal truths that Lucas captured. And it wasn't just, East versus West, it was a bridge to both of them. I think he looked for universal truth and saw all the different cultures and how they mapped onto his understanding of the world. Alright, level 30. Should we finish this lap? Why not? I think you get a bonus at the end, right? I have to imagine that's going to be worth more than anything else. But let's go ahead and use this antique lamp. Level 30. Congrats. And just like that, level 31. We can now use the Trainer Mainer Stones to Champion Guild. I can cut across, it looks like. Right here, right? Oops. That's convenient. So I can now also use my, either I come in from here and then I can just run up straight up here to Varrock without coming up to here or coming down to here. Just cut right through. Or I can teleport to Varrock and come down here. It's nice. Or the Chronicle puts me right here. And then I can just cut over to Trainer now. So, level 30, let's go ahead and get to Varrock then. There's something strange about the way our minds work when doing one of those mindless little loops. You're moving without going anywhere, and thoughts start to wander. And somewhere in that drift, the real processing happens. Not the kind that you script or force, but the kind that shows up when you finally stop controlling your thoughts and allow them to settle. These rooftop loops have their own rhythm. You move, you click, you breathe a little, and your mind starts opening the way it does in the shower. You finally give yourself enough space to feel what's actually there. But the external world calls you back eventually, even if it's as an Anku who sends you back to Lumbridge. So that's where discernment comes in. Like a Jedi, searching your feelings and learning to sense when to wander and when to stay present. And when I do that, things seem to just organize on their own. Wandering makes sense. Fear has its place. Courage and comfort stop being opposites and start dancing in rhythm. So, we'll keep finding time to process. We'll let the mind relax and see what comes wandering in next.